Konami Studios.
Shang Chi, issue 1, that's right, another book that exists because we have a movie coming out. Sadly, that movie was pushed back to July, but still, you can have this trade out by July, so that's pretty cool. I think they said it's like 5 or 6 issues, so that could be a fun book to pick up if you guys want to read Shang Chi before his movie. If not, we have issue 1 here, we'll go through it. It was pretty cool, actually. I haven't really read a Shang Chi book, or a book with Shang Chi in it, in a long time. I read some of those old Master of Kung Fu books. That's about it. I like the character a lot. I think he's a very cool character, somebody who's a great lead, and I really enjoyed this book. I think it was really fascinating, really interesting. It did something that I think is very important for a Shang-Chi book or a Master of Kung Fu book, and that is do some old school, like, Kung Fu film stuff, you know? Make some weird stories, go to weird places, don't shy away from the fact you can build up a cool universe here that's kind of different from anything else at Marvel right now, and that's what it did. It was really cool. So this book is really new reader friendly. If you aren't familiar with the backstory of Shang-Chi, we get a little bit of some stuff with him. We see there is the Society of the Five Weapons, or the Clan of the Five Weapons, and what they are is like this group from like an old dynasty who kind of work with sorcerers and kung fu, so they kind of mix the two together and become these powerful houses. We see the origin of that and how they are kind of connected to Fin Fang Foom. Great way to throw them in here, especially since we're getting rumors that Fin Fang Foom might be coming to the Shang-Chi movie. Of course, you got to throw that in here, and it's a really cool way to do it. I like it a lot. So we figure out that the guy who kind of like runs it all, or runs the more kung fu side of it, is called Shang Tzu, or Zhang Zhu. I can't remember some of these names. It's just because I'm very Americanized. I'm not really positive on the name for everything. But this guy is Shang-Chi's father, and there's like a story that we kind of know of. I'm not sure if it's hinted at in like older Shang-Chi stories where he kills his father, or if it's somebody else he knows that killed his father, but his father is dead and Shang-Chi is kind of thought to have killed him. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, if he actually did, but that's kind of just what we know about the character so far. And as that is going on, we cut to the modern day, where we see that the descendants of that original Five Weapon Society now have new leads. You have people like Brother Staff and Sister Hammer, and they're all kind of out just to find power. Sister Hammer's kind of going to be our villain here, as she kills Brother Staff and takes over his clan because she wants to take down Shang-Chi for some unknown reason yet. So she's like, I'm going to send some of you guys to America. You go find Shang-Chi, bring him to me, and we'll have fun with that. Meanwhile, in America, we see Shang-Chi is working at Grandma Wang's. I think it's just like a restaurant, and it's just fun. Shang-Chi, you could do a lot of cool stuff with him because you could get very like old school Bruce Lee movies where he's kind of silly, kind of funny, but like overall is this really cool powerhouse. And they kind of do that here, where he's just like, he's so good at like wrapping the food and just like distributing it to people, and everyone's like, wow, this guy's so cool. And yet he's still kind of like, he can't really talk good English at times. People don't really understand him. And then Grandma Wang's niece walks in, Delilah, and he's kind of like smitten, like, wow, that's a really beautiful girl. Normally when I see a girl that beautiful, she's pointing a gun at my face, and I don't really know what to say. So they just have kind of a nice moment where she's talking to him like, yeah, I hear you were an Avenger. I hear you did all these cool things. And he's like, yeah, I did. She slips him his number, and you're like, this is really cute. It's really fun. Again, it's very that Kung Fu movie. The really cool warrior comes to America, and people don't really think he's as powerful as he is, but everyone likes him still. It's cool. I really like that angle. And as he's doing that, he sees this kind of like shadowy figure walking around outside, so he goes to investigate the rooftop that they're on, and it is, I think her name is pronounced Leiko Wu. Now, I'm not very familiar with this character, but she is an MI6 agent that has some history with Shang-Chi, and she says, like, I need your help with something. We were tracking this thing here, and she's actually kind of the one later who says his English is a little weird, which I never really thought about with Shang-Chi before. You know, I always just assumed, oh, he's great at English, but I kind of like that angle where, like, he knows how to say the right words so people think he's smart, and he's also very good at just sounding like he knows what he's talking about, even if his English isn't perfect. I think that's a really cool angle, really something fun there. There's obviously a history between Leiko here and Shang-Chi. I don't know what it is, so please let me know. And is this who Awkwafina is going to be playing in the movie? I have no idea. I didn't look it up or anything. but it could make sense to me. I mean, like, because we do see some like behind the scenes from that movie where those two are teaming up. So I'm curious if that's going to be who she's playing. Don't know. Not a big deal. I like it. So they're just kind of having the conversation like, I need your help tracking these things. There's some weird stuff going on. Some people think some people believe that there's going to be some ninjas here to kill you. And Shang-Chi's like, that's stupid. What are you talking about? And just as that happens, in comes the ninjas sent by Sister Hammer to take down Shang-Chi. And it's just a really cool moment. I love seeing him fight. It's really fun. We see a scene earlier where he just like swiftly takes the gun away from Leiko. And now he's a really cool fighter. I like seeing that. And as this is going on too, we get some more of the descendants of the Five Weapon Society coming in. But these people are better, you know? They're good people. And I love it too, because when you're doing a book like this and everyone's from a different clan, make your characters unique. We got the big muscly guy, the small woman, like, it's really cool. So we got Brother Saber and Sister Dagger. They're coming in because they want to help Shang-Chi. He is Brother Hand. I think that's really cool, because then you got Hammer, Staff, Saber, Dagger, and Hand. Those are the 5 weapons. That's kind of cool. So we know who all the players are in this book going forward. I wonder if we're going to see somebody replace Brother Staff. I could imagine maybe it would be Leiko or even Delilah. She might be good at stuff if she's going to come back at all. Pretty cool. So they take down the ninjas sent by Hammer, and then they're just kind of like, yo, you're our brother, Shang-Chi. We don't know each other, but you got to help us. We can help you. Your sister, our sister, she's doing some crazy shit. We kind of need to take her down, so we'd love it if you could help us. And they say something about the tattoo on her head that makes Shang-Chi realize he knows who they're talking about. And we get this confirmation that it's his sister, and it's like his mother's only other child. So it's actually his sister, which I think is like, okay, that's kind of cool. You can do all this world building stuff with Shang-Chi. I think it's very needed, especially since the movie's coming out and it works really well. I'm not too familiar with the world though, that's the only problem, and I think a lot of people are going to read this for the first time and they're going to be like, this is a cool way to introduce Shang-Chi into the larger universe. We're getting a lot of his backstory, a lot of the way he connects to some of the more mystical elements of the Marvel universe, and he's a really compelling lead. I've always thought Shang-Chi is a great character to lead something, and seeing that here, I think it works really well. It's a really fun book. The writing is pretty good for the most part, and I think the artwork is decent. It's not my favorite artwork. I'm not saying it looks rushed or anything, but you could just tell sometimes it's just a little messy in places, and that's not a bad thing. I think going forward it's going to be really cool if you like those classic kung fu movies, very Bruce Lee. You're going to like this here because Shang-Chi gives off some serious Bruce Lee vibes, just the way he talks to women, just the way he handles the situation around him, and the colorful characters make this all the better. So Shang-Chi #1, it's well worth the read, and I am going to give it a 7 out of 10. So thank you guys so much for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.